Alright, Shalom. Before I start, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh Bashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Barakodash, give honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all the elect Akim. Wa, Akwatim, learning and teaching in truth and sincerity. Alright, and this is going to be that second video. Alright, now it goes along nicely. Hey, these heathen nations, they don't care about us, and you should understand that in full. All right, if you're an Israelite, you have to understand that if you have a heathen, even talking to you, they're just trying to get something out of you, whether it be financial gain, status. All right, they're trying to get some information to learn how to do something that you know how to do. All right, because you had we on the lunch break now, and so we all had to pass by that board with that Kobe quote on it. And even the other Jake at my job, they was like, man, they was like, F that. They was like, that dude speaking about our manager, he don't care about us. He just put that up there to try to get on our good side to make it look like hey, look, these devils, the way that our treatment is in America should prove that not only them, but the other heathen nations don't care about us, all right? They do not care about you. And if our people understood that, then we wouldn't even have such a hard time giving them the word. Because one of the main things that always happens, you might have somebody, let's say you're at the line, they're teaching them the word, they might be agreeing with the mark of the beast, they might be agreeing with this and agreeing with that, and then you say something about Esau, Edom, and it's like a record getting scratched. They like, not my white people, Hey, these devils don't care about you whatsoever. And matter of fact, all these nations have assisted in making sure that we stay in this low position. All right, a couple hundred years ago, it was all what's the word I want to use? I believe it starts with a V. But a couple hundred years ago, it used to be on Front Street. It used to be out in the open, the hatred for us and wanting to keep us down. But now it's in the shadows. All right, now it's passive. Now they pull strings in areas that we cannot see to keep us in this perpetual state. All right, so we're going to be starting with Jeremiah chapter 30. I'm going to start at verse, let me see. Verse 12, it says, "For thus saith the Lord, thy bruise is incurable, and thy wound is grievous." What bruise? All right. What wound? The state of our nation. The fact that, man, I forgot what I was watching or reading, but they were giving us certain statistics in the so-called African American community, specifically of those people locked up in prison. And if I remember correctly, the lady was saying how 60% of so-called African American inmates are illiterate. They don't even know how to read. That is one of our incurable bruises. All right. You look at something, our household situation, the man against the women, the children against the parents. We're completely broken. This is our wound. This is our grievous bruise that cannot be healed until Yahushua HaMashiach returns. Verse 13, it says, "There is none to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up. Thou hast no healing medicines." All right. There is none that pleadeth our cause, meaning none of our own people, except for the prophets. All right. And especially none of the heathen nations. All right. And I'm gonna have to get some pictures in. But when you look at what was that? What movement was that? Civil rights. Okay, let me get. Civil rights ended up diverting into women's liberation. All right. Esau, Edom, the so-called. Let me type this in. All right. The Edomite woman hopped on the bandwagon of civil rights to help get themselves more rights. All right, and they helped fool the so-called black woman into believing they needed to do the same, into believing that they were oppressed underneath the so-called black man, which is an absolute lie. All right, women's liberation. The so-called black woman wasn't being oppressed by the so-called black man. We were getting oppressed by Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. So we didn't have the ability or the authority to even oppress our own women. All right. So they took the Edomites went and took that and quelled that, turned that into something else. All right, you take so-called Black Lives Matter, that got put under the dirt by LGBTQ and so-called All Lives Matter and whatnot. So basically, these heathen nations, whenever we try to get up and do something, they make sure they snuff it out and they mask it and push it out of the way. All right, they make sure that that spirit of Jake rising up always gets put down. They don't want us having that spirit. They don't want to plead our cause. They don't want to do what's right for us. They don't want to see us have justice and peace. All right. Jeremiah 30:14 now. It says, all thy lovers have forgotten thee. They seek thee not. For I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy, with the chastisement of a cruel one, for the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased. All right. So our lovers, which is parabolic talk to the heathen nations, because when you read around in different chapters, especially in the beginning parts of the book of Isaiah, it compares the nation of Israel, northern kingdom and southern kingdom, to idolatrous women that were committing adultery with the heathen nations. All right, and they've now abandoned us. We went off worshiping the gods of Egypt. Where is Egypt to save us now? We went off to worship the gods of Assyria. Where are the gods of Assyria to save us now? All right, our people trusted in Esau, Edom. Where is Esau to save us now? All right, they are the very nation that beat our heads in when you call 911. They're the very group of people that get laws passed to make sure we stay in the ghetto, to make sure that we never make more than I think statistically, fuck is calling me, man. Don't fucking call me, man. Damn, dude. Slakia, y'all. If I remember correctly, according to the statistics, Esau and his goddamn numbers. All right, the average Israelite home only has $5,000 in assets. All right, which is trash. Nothing. That is nothing compared to the average Edomite household. I don't remember, but I know that it numbered in thousands. All right, in tens of thousands. All right, to help you understand what I'm saying, assets meaning things that you have. If you had to get up and sell everything that you own right now, how much money would you have? All right, the average Israelite car, man, your car worth $1,200. You wouldn't, and I'm speaking because I know so, because I didn't have to do so. I go you'll save up $1,200, $2,000, or $3,000. Go buy you a whip that's already been used and half beat to the earth, and probably ain't gonna get you the next 2 to 3 years until you have to get another one. Your house, you don't own your house. You're paying rent. All right. You got the TV costs $600. So that, hey, altogether, everything you own only about $5,000. When you look at an Edomite, they got a boat out somewhere. They have a little vacation home. They just finished paying off their house, which is worth maybe $130,000. A well-off-to-do Edomite. Now, and they actually own vehicles outside that are in decent condition. We don't have shit here. All right. They have abandoned us. These devils lured us in. They deceived us. And when I say us, I mean the wicked of our nation. All right. Because the righteous aren't deceived when it tells you in Revelation 14, the righteous aren't going to be taken with any of that BS. All right. They're virgins. All right. So let me get this real quick. I know I'm talking a lot, but I just wanted to get certain points across, man. You can't, don't, something that I like to practice, or I always keep in my mind, if you're dealing with a heathen nation or you're dealing with an Edomite, don't let them talk to you that much. The more they talk to you, like Nellie Fuller says, the more confused you're going to get. The more they talk, the more you're going to trust them, the more you're going to believe them. I try to keep my conversations with non-Israelites as minimal as effing possible. All right, especially my boss. It's what you need, where I'm going. Boom, boom, I'm gone. I'm not trying to know nobody's birthday. I don't want to know this. I don't want to know that. All right. Luke chapter 16, verse. I'm going to start up. Verse 20. Luke 16:20, it says, and there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which was laid at his gate, full of sores, and desiring to be fed within. So okay, Slaki, this parable is dealing with the nation of Israel, being the poor man, representative of Lazarus, and the rich man being representative of Esau, Edom. All right, so it said there was a poor man, there was a beggar, Lazarus. Says which was laid at his gate, full of sores. So a broken down, beat down man going through hell. All right, like it tells you in Jeremiah 14 and I believe it's 2. The gate, Judah mourneth and the gates thereof languish. All right, hey, we don't have any people to plead our cause. We don't have a police force behind us or a military. We have to go to the devil for the want and need of all things. Verse 21. And desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. All right, so we desire just the little things of this society. We don't even have a peace of mind. The same, you can take a Edomite that's 15 years old and an Israelite that's 15 years old and ask them, where do you see yourself in 10 years? And their answers are going to be completely different. The Edomite, oh, well, by then, hopefully I'll have completed, my 4 to 5, maybe 6 years in college. I'll have a job, a wife, I'll be doing this and doing that. You ask Jake, shit, man, I might not even make it 18, man. It's just me, it's my mom and all of my siblings. It's all 7 of us. I'm probably gonna have to get a job so I can finish high school. And if hey, we don't even get the necessities of society. All right, we just barely hanging by a thread. We don't even get the crumbs of the table. We get the dust mites underneath it. It says, moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores. All right, and what does this mean? The dogs are being compared to the heathen nations, meaning that they come and here. Let me. Well, y'all can't see because I'm gonna have pictures in. But if you have a wound, a cut or a slice, if it constantly keeps getting wet, all right, you take a dog. That's why, say if a dog gets neutered, they put that cone around its head so it doesn't lick off and tear out the stitches down there in this area. All right, so this is parabolic for how the nations, they also make sure we don't get our shit together. We don't get to heal. All right, that's why Elam and Ishmael have liquor stores set up in the neighborhood. So we stay drunk and we stay high. So we can't be in a sober mind to even know what's going on while the sun is up in the sky. All right, that's why Amalek is making sure he's running the businesses when we need a loan or a lawyer. So we're always in debt. That's why Esau just does whatever. He just has his hand in every freaking thing, man. That's what it means for the dog that licked the sores. They keep us in a perpetual state of lowliness. We're never able to get ahead. All right, we just have our nose just above water in this society. All right, why? Because these nations don't care about us. They hate us. They made an agreement together in Psalms, which I'm gonna get, to destroy us. Psalms chapter 83. You already know where I'm at. Psalms chapter 83, verse 2. It says, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head against thee. Who hates the nation of Israel? All the other heathen nations. Because we are the chosen and they are not. And they some hating hoes. It says, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. All right. And that's what they've done. They've taken careful steps to make sure we don't know who we are. They've actually all agreed to lie on history. At some point, even through all of Esau's deception, but all these bastards agreed to completely, okay, we just going to completely lie on history. We're going to completely lie about where everyone comes from. We're going to, this whole Big Bang Theory, hundreds of millions of billions of trillions of billions, a zillions, a gillions of years, and all this and all that. The Heavenly Father don't exist. To make sure that we don't know who we are. To wipe us out of, to wipe away our memorial. All right. And they've removed our landmarks, which is another sin, like it tells you in the law. All right. Verse 5, it says, for they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacle of Edom and the Ishmaelites. All right, so you got Esau, you have Ishmael. It says of Moab, the Moabites, so-called Chinese, and the Hagarenes. It says Gebal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also was joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot, Selah. And so basically, the other, because you have the Hamites, and what's the unimportant pastor's name? The Japhites, sorry. And then you have other lines out of Shem that all came together to help keep us down. Every last single nation, like it tells you in the Maccabees. I could get it, but hey, you should know it if you're reading. What it says, what nation hadn't taken? Fuck it, man. I just get it. God damn it. God, First Maccabees 2 and 10. It says, what nation had not part in her had Slakia? What nation hath not had a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils? All right. So it tells you it's posing the question. It's rhetorical, meaning it doesn't need an answer, because every nation, we've been in captivity under everyone. We started out as freaking slaves. That's why everyone looks down on us. If you become a rich Israelite, you're just what? As the saying is, what are you? You just a nigga with money. You just a spick that played soccer and got rich, or that could sing, or that could dance. All right, you just a big booty bitch that threw your ass around, and now you rich, but you still a little black bitch from the hood. That's how they look at us. And that's how they treat us. And the evidence is in everything that goes on in society. How we can get laid down in the streets and nobody cares. How we can have our hands up and still get shot down. All right. How we can get up and try to do something noble and make a decent life for ourselves, and we still get belittled and demeaned. You take a person like Michael Vick. You got people that Esau, they still trying to get at him. All right. And he served his time concerning that situation with them dogs. All right, but you got people like Ted Bundy, all right, and who's some other, and what's that bastard's name? The dude who was a cannibal homosexual, Jeffrey Dahmer. All right, Esau don't go hard on Jeffrey Dahmer, but they go hard on on Michael Vick. All right, hey, so, hey, that's about it for this video. Matter of fact, I'll end on this scripture. One of my favorites. Don't trust these heathens. Don't trust these devils. All right. Sirach chapter 12 verse 10. It says, "Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness." So don't ever trust these devils. All right. And you could, if to get an example of what I'm talking about, read through the book of First Maccabees and Second Maccabees. All right. Now we have to do what we have to do with these heathens because they're in the power. But do not trust these devils with your life. Do not trust these devils. Do not trust these heathens. And if you read through the book of Maccabees, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. They will kill you. They will accept you into their home. All right. They will lie to you. They will blame stuff on you. They will pretend to be your friend, and they'll get rid of you. Dynasty fell, otherwise known as the Maccabees. When you look at how Judas died, when you look at how, or not Judas, he died in the battlefield. But what was it? Jonathan. What was it? You had Onias, the high priest. I believe. You had Judas, Jonathan, and then Onias. Hey, the majority of those great men, they died because they was putting too much trust in Esau. They thought that they was putting too much trust in him. So that's being the whole point of this video. These heathens don't care about us, man. All we have is Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai and the like-minded believers in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai around the world, that have the Spirit on them. So with that, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakurash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all the elect Akim. Walk Watim, learning, teaching in truth and in sincerity. And with that, I'm going to say Shalom.